What's up, everybody? Wild Blockchain Academic. Super excited to have you guys here today. Is Bitcoin going to 100 grand? I believe so. So before we get into this, make sure to subscribe. If you have any questions, like or put them in the comments below. Hit the like button, and let's get into it. So we're going to look at a few things with Bitcoin. We're going to look at MSR. We're going to look at multiple time frames, when to be entering, and all that great stuff, and if you should be buying around here. So first of all, if you don't have any Bitcoin, I would highly recommend, I'm just going to post this in our Discord right now. In the videos. So you can join our Discord to stay updated with our price predictions, all of our crypto videos, and we're going to do some giveaways soon. So let's get into it. We're looking on the monthly. The halving just happened. Everybody knows that. Everybody was watching that. Everybody's like super bullish on the halving. We're seeing like a V here. We actually broke. We haven't broke price from February, which the top would be 10,635. Currently, we did go over 10,000. So if we get rejected here, that would be like a lower high. It is very possible. Everybody is so bullish on this, and the market does an amazing job. So I'm just going to draw that on quickly. It's not perfect. So the market does an amazing job of separating market participants, traders from their Bitcoins, retail traders from their Bitcoins. And that's what I think is going to happen here. You can see here that this would be the perfect lower high, actually. So as you can see, after we hit 20K, we've been in a downward channel. And we've had some great opportunities, like buying at 3,000. If you got in here with the COVID drop, would have been super great. So this is not convincing to me. On the monthly, you see that you have the TI the 2 over the 1. Giving you a buy signal. The month is not over, 17 more days. I don't think this will hold in 17 days. Bitcoin, the markets are irrational. I think that we could see a push, we could see some more FOMO, and this could be like a bull trap. If we actually break above 10,000, what was it, 10,600? Actually, we can just click on it. 10,000, high was 10,550. If we break above 10,550 and we make like this bull trap and then break down, I can see that happening because there's so many people, I think, who are over leveraged here. You're seeing the FOMO, a lot of activity coming back in, a lot of, I don't want to say dumb money, but new money is coming in. A lot of people think that the halving is just going to blow up Bitcoin's price. And with the current world, state that we're in, with the Fed's printing trillions and trillions of dollars, with the S&P right now, which we will take a quick look at, the S&P. It is going down today. So Bitcoin is going up. In the last 3 days, the S&P has gone down, actually. You can see here, this could have been, a double top. It's tried to break this, and it couldn't. If we have the moving averages on the daily, I think, no, it actually just broke down below the 200. Yeah, it got rejected on the 200 and just broke down below the 50-day moving average, which is pretty critical for the S&P. So a lot of people do think this is a swing down. This was like a dead cat bounce. And if it does get worse, if we do see a second wave, so I'm gonna give you guys some signals on MSR and show you what it's calling. Short, long. On the 4-hour with Bitcoin, it works very great. So you can see, still drawing the 4-hour and the 15-minute. I trade the 3 minutes, so I'll just show you guys as well before I'm going to do like an overall analysis. So like the 3 minute, you get into some, with MSR, you get some really good entries. So you can see here, bull trend, you get some really, really good entries. And sometimes you guys get some like whipsaw entries, you get some, noisy entries that are kind of just shakeouts or just kind of consolidating, and you just get false signals. But the ones that do play out are very, very profitable. And then the ones that aren't profitable, you cut them out at a 2% loss, or you enter on the retest. So on the beach here, this is where you re-enter. This is where I would buy right here. You can sell, trim, buy, sell, trim, buy, work your way up. So, and then let's say, I'm looking for one that you actually took a loss right now. 15, 15, this is a win, that's a win, that's a win. You guys get the point. This is a sell, that's a win, that went up. So 15 minutes been pretty spot on actually. Buy, sell. Yeah, anyways, I could keep going on to showing how accurate this is. So I'm trading it on the 3 minute and the 15 second, not 15 minutes. So I just signaled along here, but I would be very cautious. So let's go back on the month. Before we do that, I wanted to share an article by Leah Wald and Stephen McClurg. They're from the Exponential Investment Management. I had the opportunity to meet Leah, a wonderful woman. So they're talking about the halving not being a buy, and that's because with these events they're so publicized, and it's just kind of they're overplayed, and it's just like a perfect bull trap. And if we're looking at historic halvings, we saw after the 2016 halving that it dropped 30%, and then we trended sideways. And you're seeing that due to COVID, a lot of people believe that there's a second wave coming. I'm not going to go over this article for long, but a lot of people believe that a second wave is coming. So as we saw the swing down on the market, even US 30, everything is coming down, like the stock market. Gold's going up with Bitcoin. So in the last, this is the month. Gold is going up in the last few days. It's actually on an uptrend as well. Gold is uptrending. We got a buy here. So this is a solid buy in 2019, and you're just holding gold. So this would have been an entry for me, and you just have to be patient. This was a perfect entry that COVID presented on gold, and you would have made some great money. So MSR, if you are interested or have any questions, just post, hit me up, and I can show you how to go about setting that up. So with Bitcoin on the monthly, let's get rid of that for now. With Bitcoin on the monthly, this is looking like, this is looking like a great place. This is a lot, of resistance right here. This is going to be a very tough spot for Bitcoin to break. And if it does break above this, it's going to be, we're going to have to watch to see if it's a bull trap. Ideally, it just breaks out, but if it comes back and retests and then breaks out, kind of consolidates here, that would be a great signal as well. So let's go down to the 2 weeks. This is the 2-week low right here, 70. The 2-week low would be 76.25. So 76.25 would kind of be the break point. We're going to use the 2-week low. So 76.25 would be the break point. And then after that, if it breaks down that, I would think that we are going to start trending down. I thought if we held above 95, because that was where this is where we kind of broke down, and we now put a higher low than this. We broke this price. I didn't think we were going to break 9,500, but like I said, markets are irrational. So, FOMO kicks in, or the market movers just push in and liquidate people. They margin call them, stop hunt them, whatever you want to call it. So that was definitely an area. If you took short here, you would put your stop loss right here at 9,200. And then some people have their stop loss right here. So I think we might see a wake up, to activate long, positions into long for people who went long and they're kind of breakout chasers, breakout traders, and then to get people out of their shorts. So right now we've seen a bunch of liquidations. I don't know the number off my head. I could have grabbed it. It's not too important, but probably millions and millions of dollars of liquidations in these prices. And if we can break around here, capture some long breakout traders, wake out the short traders, and then come back down. That is kind of where I'm seeing like Bitcoin come back down. I do believe we're going to hit 100 grand. I'm ultra bullish on Bitcoin with everything that's happening around the world. Fed's printing trillions and trillions of dollars, and everything's coming. It's with time will tell. We'll see how it's going to affect us in the next 6, 12, 18 months. And it's not going to be positively, I don't think. So with Bitcoin, this is the best place, to catch long holders, in my opinion, and then to separate them from their Bitcoin. Everybody thinks that Bitcoin is just going to blow up because of the halving. And we're just going to go to 15K, 20K, 200K, all these bullish targets. But I think we might see like a shakeout. First of all, miners capitulated. They can't afford to keep mining Bitcoin because the reward structure got split in half. So they're getting half the Bitcoins if they're even lucky to mine the same amount of blocks, because the equations get harder. So with that being said, I want to potentially see a shakeout with traders, potentially see a sell-off. People who did buy, who got lucky to get long here, maybe they take profits. But I do see some heavy resistance here. Is this a good place to buy? If you don't have any Bitcoin, I would recommend buying some and slowly exposing yourself to get into the market. Because then I'm going to put on the moving averages so then I can see them. So yeah, if you don't have Bitcoin, I definitely recommend, exposing yourself to the market, because it could blast off here and you wouldn't have any. So I would definitely recommend to, get in, expose yourself, try the technology, get a feel for it, and get familiar with it, because it's amazing. So as we saw here, and which I've been saying, which we broke below the 200-week moving average, I knew that I put the support and resistance right here, this trend line, and you see the change of polarity right here. So we broke down, and then with these candles, these are like shooting stars. They tried to break, it couldn't, it got rejected. Bears pushed here, but you can see volume coming in, and then you can see that the RSI is coming up. We built this like nice V pattern. So if we can play out this whole V, it could explode into definitely into a bull market, especially while the S&P is coming down and gold's going up. This is like, it's hard to say what's going to happen, because we've never seen anything like this happen, and nobody would have ever thought COVID would have kind of pushed the world into this state that we're in. So it's kind of hard to predict what's going to happen, because tomorrow we can be in lockdown for, an extended 3 months, and everything I just said went out the window, and we see the largest red bar in history. It comes out of the screen type of thing. So you see this trend line that's very reactive, as you can see here. Used, bounced off here, rejected, support, resistance, broke above it. I have another trend line here, and then you can see support. So we got rejected. We finally broke above. We used it as a support, and then we broke above the 200 or the 50 EMA. So here I was telling people, we are going to come back, and moving averages, the price gets attracted. Price attracts to them and kind of levitates towards them. So the further it gets away from it, it's actually sometimes a great buying opportunity, depending on what moving averages you're using. So a lot of people that went short here, pretty much RIP. I know some people who sold out some Bitcoin, went short, and they got, it priced at 300% on them, literally, or 100%, depending on where you sold or where you went short. We broke above that. We're holding this trend. And now we're in some risky situation. This looks like a classic. We put, when you're looking at market structures, you see the higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then it starts to break down. So you can see here on the low end, we have, on the downward end, we have a lower low, lower high, 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 lower low. And then we broke out of this short term I mean, I don't know what's short term to you, but it was a pretty nasty crash. We broke towards that, and my lines aren't perfect. I'm just trying to be quick, but we broke that. We broke above, and you can see when we broke below the moving average here, and you don't see the 200 EMA because there's not enough data to put it back, to paint it back there, so to produce the actual ribbon. So as you can see, when we actually got a further away from the moving average, we came back above it. So that was about 60% from the moving average, and that was a great buy. From here, it was about, oh, wrong tool. So from here, we got about 55%. So those are great buys. From the 50 MA, if you see price about 50 to 60% away from it on the downside, that's a good buy. Price is going to levitate towards it. These are just very simple metrics. And then, with the moving averages moving upwards, that it's long as well. So I like to use moving averages for a series of different things, from identifying trends to using them to buy and sell to spot signals, a bunch of things to see how far price is away from moving average. And there's a great indicator called distance for moving average. So you could definitely use that for taking profits. So we're on the weekly. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to go further down into this. So I've been saying it's a buy from here all the way up. And now on the TD sequential, we've reversed out of the countdown on the downward cycle, and now we're going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We might get I think we might see like this unseen before bear trap, a bull trap, where we might see the 7, 8, 9 play, and it might look like we're breaking out into this large bull market, and then we come back down. If we actually do get a second wave of this COVID stuff, understand how markets work. Market makers, whales they come here to take your money and to separate you from your Bitcoin. So to make this look like a bull market or alt season, and then it to crash down on you like it did when COVID happened, that was like a 70% crash. And then maybe we see like a sideways choppy market for months, weeks before we actually take off, because they want to convince you that maybe it's Bitcoin hasn't worked out and it actually is dead before they get everybody out of their positions, get the weak hands out, and then kind of play out and take it to the moon, because there's some large buyers. And as we saw, JP Morgan announced yesterday they're opening up accounts for Coinbase and accredited investors and all that great stuff. So we're seeing a lot of momentum with Bitcoin blockchain. It's very, very exciting. I just joined a token as well, which we're going to give out more information in a week. So on the weekly, let me just remove all drawings. Actually, I'll just do that. So that's where I stand on the weekly. Investment point of view, like I would buy if you don't have any Bitcoin. So let's go down on the 5-day. Let's see if we see anything. On the 5-day, we're seeing a 9-day sell. You can see the 9-day sell was right here. So I'm going to copy that, post that in the Discord. 9-day on 5-day. Make sure to join the Discord if you haven't already. And I'm going to show you guys on the futures something important. So I'm going to do that right now. So on the futures, we have gaps. And as you can see, we filled this gap. This is in March. Yeah, March, when we broke down. This was a violent breakdown. And with gaps, the rule of thumb is like we fill gaps. Gaps will always get filled. So as you can see here, I knew that price was going to come back and test this. So it was kind of silly and maybe not break above and break through the gap and maybe just get rejected here. But I knew that price was going to come back at one point and try and test this gap and try and break through or fill the gap. And then the most recent one is right here. We had this gap as well. And then we just filled it. As you can see, I'm going to do it from, no, I'm not using the wick or the shadows. I'm doing it from body to body. So as you can see, we had this large gap. And just recently, we've actually filled the whole thing. And what I was saying here is I didn't think we were going to break through the whole gap. in which we are just filling it. So I thought maybe we'll just fill this gap. And at 10,000, we got rejected at 10,000. We're putting in a lower high. It's a horrible trend line. We're putting in a lower high. Come on. Putting in a lower high here. So, and we're just getting rejected off this gap. This is like a perfect place to come down and then start the shakeout, start the whale shakeout, the Bitcoin takeover, you know, for them to take as many Bitcoins as they can before the largest bull run ever to 100 grand, to 150 grand. So that's what I wanted to show you with the Bitcoin futures. I look out for gaps and then I watch them. Is this a gap? No, the wick fills the whole thing up. So this is definitely a gap right here. And now it's filled. So let's get back into the daily analysis. On the 5-day, you have the 9 cell. You can see the 9 cell here. Put us down. You have this large doji. This is like a long-legged doji. Large doji right here. Bulls really picked up here. This was an amazing buy off the 50-day moving, the 50 EMA on the 5-day, and you can see the 9-day worked here on the 9. So I just like to see how many 9s work, 9 buy, 9 sell on the time frame to see how much weight I give it. Large. This is a large bearish engulfing on the 4-day. This was the halving dump, and it's kind of, I don't want to say typical, but you can see a large candle as a kind of retracement. You see retracement moves, but candles can also retrace as well. So like half a body would be cool, but like it's the halving and there's a lot of FOMO and the world's in this crazy state and we're right at the trend line. So this is a perfect V as well that we played out. This could be very bullish. This is why it's like, this is as a trader, I wouldn't recommend taking a blind position because here it's going here or there. It might shop around here for a little bit, but it's gonna move out in a direction. It's just collecting as many orders as it can, and it's gonna whipsaw as many traders as it can at this price range. So this is the 4-day. Let's look on the 3-day, and then I'm going to give you some positions that I'm on right now. Same thing, 3-day. We just retraced everything back from this candle we broke. On the 2-day, we had the 9. On the 1-day, I know we had the 9 as well. The 9 broke down. We're getting a bullish golden cross on the daily. So as you can see here, this is definitely resistance. This is definitely resistance here. We're going to try our best on the daily. Let's see what the MSR is saying right now. So MSR, I'm going to do just $10,000 just so for math's sake, it's easy. So yeah, right here, you'd be just taking a 36% entry on a short. Actually, this is still bear trend, but I don't trade the daily. I don't trade it because I don't trade the MSR daily. I do the 4-hour. So on the 4-hour, you went long here, which taking this long here, if you didn't here, it's very it's in a risky spot. It was the same thing. Halvings right here is a lot of resistance, but you want to expose yourself because you got the signal. And it's like you're following the signals regardless of how you feel or what the event is or, whatever it is, you're taking your signal because most of the time it's right. And your risk is calculated. So as you can see here, this was an amazing short from 8,200 to 3,800, the 8,100 to 10 grand. You got the short here as well from 10,300 to 6,500. So the last 4 signals were like spot on. These were golden signals, like $1,000 moves. And then this signal comes in and then it dumps on you, but now it's back over your signal price. So you need to, and not only that, when you're learning the system, if you didn't buy here because you thought it was overextended, which, I may have only put 10%, I would have re-entered everything here. And now I would be in a very profitable situation. This would have been my re-entry zone. As you can see, it's very visual. It's very visual. It made it very visual, so on the 4-hour, you're long. Right now, you could put a break-even stop loss at 9,600. You can put a stop loss right under the candle, however you want to play it. On the 15-minute, which I'm going to share these with you guys, it is long. So the 15-minute broke out of a short from where it went short from 9,400. So I trade the 3-minute because I like to see I see the moves quicker. Because on the 15-minute, you got the short at 8,900 basically when price was at 9,600. So that wasn't the best short. So on the 3-minute, but so on the 15, we're long right now. And you can see that on the 15-minute, sometimes it's not the best short, like I said, but you learn where to re-enter. So if this was overextended from price, this is my re-entry zone right here, right above the 200-day moving average. And when we go short, anytime it retests, I'm short. Anytime we're long and it retests, I long. So this is going into the beach and into the ocean. This is a perfect buy for me, and I'll put my stop loss here. So we've calculated you can calculate your risk accordingly. I do it on a 2% risk because that allows me to play 50 times, 50 bad trades before I lose my whole bankroll. And you saw like this gives out like 3, 4, 5 good trades, and then you get a bad one, or maybe you misplayed it, or whatever it is. So you know what I mean. On the 3-minute, the 3-minute's been really great. That's what I trade, and I'm gonna upgrade my trading view count to 15 seconds because I'm going to do 15 seconds. So you can see the 3-minute here. It's really great. So that short we were talking about, it told us to go short at 8,900 on the 15-minute. On the 3-minute, that short told us to go short at 97. That's almost $1,000. So taking, the 3-minute signals, this is what I do all day. And the 15-second, I don't have access to it because I don't. I'm gonna upgrade today actually because it's been so profitable. It's been so great. I'm gonna upgrade. I got my laptop, so I'm gonna do the 15-second on the laptop, and I'm gonna do the 3-minute on my computer right here. And then I got my prices on the left. So the 3-minute sometimes takes hours. Sometimes you're gonna trade for days, or sometimes you're gonna trade for an hour or two. But sometimes you're gonna trade for a couple hours. Sometimes you're gonna trade for hours or like a whole day. Or maybe it just takes off because you catch these moves. So when you catch a large move, this could take off for days. You took a 3-minute trade, which is supposed to be day trading, but the move kind of caught that I don't want to say bull run, but that pump, the initial $1,000, $2,000-$3,000 move, and you caught the start of it from the 3-minute. And Bitcoin just pushes, so you're just riding this trend. So the max loss that I've taken. The max loss that I've taken is 2% using the system. I think 2.1%. But aside from that, so the 3 minutes long, the 4 hours long, the 1 hours long. But it's been long. So don't just come in here and throw your money in. I would definitely tread carefully. That's it for today's video. I'll be doing this a few times a week. I'll be going over the MSR's trading calls. I'll be going over my positions, where I think the market's going, but I do see a shakeout before the largest bull run to $100,000. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys tomorrow.